Good evening, you're watching Hungary Reports, kicking off public media and one's foreign language news hour. I'm JÓZSEF. Thanks for joining us. Viktor Orbán expressed support in favor of Ukraine's sovereignty and good neighborly relations, as well as his readiness to discuss open issues in a letter sent to the Ukrainian Prime Minister marking Ukraine's Independence Day. The Prime Minister said he trusted that open issues could be resolved. Viktor Orbán assured his Ukrainian counterpart that the Hungarian government would continue to be partner in efforts aimed at building cooperation based on mutual respect and good neighborly relations. Germany definitely has no grounds to accuse Hungary of anti-Semitism, the Parliamentary State Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade said after he had summoned Germany's ambassador to Budapest to attend the meeting with relation to Saturday's statement by German Minister of State for Europe, Híradó. The Social Democratic politician has accused Hungary of being anti-Semitic. Levente Magyar emphasized that it wasn't the Hungarian government which claimed that the Jewish community lived in prosperity and security in Hungary, but the leaders of the community.
Today I summoned the German ambassador to Budapest to my office and informed him that the Minister of State's statement was completely unacceptable. It was not only unacceptable, given that the accusation of anti-Semitism by a German official sounded rather absurd, but at least unfortunate. It's also unacceptable because it was an unfounded political accusation.
The Hungarian-Chinese economic cooperation must be restarted as soon as possible, and there is a political will on both sides to do so, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade said after talks with his Chinese counterpart. Péter Szijjártó emphasized China is the second most important source of imports for the Hungarian economy. It also shows the importance of the visit that the face-to-face meeting, originally scheduled for half an hour, lasted more than an hour and a half.
China has become the second most important source of imports for the Hungarian economy for today, and the Chinese companies have invested more than $5 billion in Hungary so far. Therefore, it's important for the future success of the Hungarian economy that the Hungarian-Chinese economic cooperation returns to its previous momentum as soon as possible.
Compliance with rules and regulations and mask wearing is being monitored by the police closely at the larger railway stations from Monday on. These targeted actions are necessary because more people have been traveling in buses and trains lately without covering their faces.
Several hundred passengers made their way through Népliget bus station on Monday afternoon. Not everyone was wearing a mask. Passengers boarded vehicles wearing masks, but some weren't covering their faces at all in the designated waiting areas, despite the fact that signs warn that masks are mandatory. Wearing a mask on public transport and at transit stops has been obligatory for months now. Compliance with rules and regulations is being monitored by the police closely because discipline has decreased nationwide. First, passengers are reminded to wear a mask. However, an on-site fine might be imposed. Previously, the Hungarian State Railways, as well as the Center for Budapest Transport, stated that passengers can be asked to get off public transport vehicles if they refuse to be compliant. Recent data on the coronavirus shows the significance of prevention as the number of cases has increased. Hungarian drug therapies are encouraging. Blood plasma has been used with patients successfully in Hungary for months now. In the United States, however, they have only just permitted its use. We were able to use it with good efficiency. Many of the patients recovered as a result of this treatment. Naturally, it all depends on what stage the patient receives the treatment, but it seems like it is effective, Ferenc Jakab said. He added the current state of the pandemic shows that the virus will not disappear on its own. This is why immunization is necessary. While vaccine development has advanced, the final remedy remains to be seen.
Hungarian traditions and the Hungarian responses to sustainable development will be on display at the World of Hunting and Nature exhibition next year. With the help of the programs, the event may attract up to 1 million guests to the country.
Dozens of shotguns, rifles, smooth-barreled and double-barreled weapons were lined up at stands at HUNGEXPO in February at the International Exhibition for Fishing, Hunting and Arms, the largest fair in the Carpathian Basin. Nearly 300 exhibitors awaited visitors at the four-day show. Next year, Hungary is set to host an even bigger event. The World of Hunting and Nature exhibition will take place in Hungary in 2021. This was reported on by the government commissioner of the event called One with Nature. Zoltán Kovács pinned down that they are not organizing a commercial type event. The goal of the event is rather to promote sustainable nature management. Here lies the opportunity for Hungary to showcase its own traditions, presenting the hunting culture of Central Europe and Europe as a whole, in order to create an opportunity so that not only our nation, not only Central Europe, but all the countries, regions, and continents of the world can exhibit their own experiences, Zoltán Kovács said. At the 20-day event at HungExpo, visitors can get to know the culture and Hungarian regulation of hunting through conferences, exhibitions, as well as thematic events. The Deputy Prime Minister said the programs were planned so that visitors can get to know all of Hungary, which would also contribute to boosting tourism. Nearly 50 countries have indicated their prospective involvement at the 2021 World Exhibition. The organizers await 1 million tourists to take part in the program of the series.
4 days, 444 kilometers and 50 cyclists. Tour de Hungest, Hungary's biggest cycling race, has kicked off. This year, the route traveled through the most beautiful regions of the Balaton Uplands, the Little Balaton and the Zala Hills. In addition to promoting cycling, the initiative aims to support domestic sports tourism.
This is how the annual Tour de Hungest cycling race started. Cyclists carefully check their bicycles and gear. People arrive from all over the country, even from across the borders. There are some who attend the race for the second time. Tour de Hungest was first held by the biggest hotel chain last year, where the route led across the Great Plains region. This year, the distance of 444 kilometers will travel through the most beautiful landscapes of the Balaton Uplands and the Zala Hills. The routes connecting our hotels give great opportunity for a perfect bicycle race, by which we can set the mood of the big international tours, András Szekerka said. The athletes complete the distance in 4 days. The hilly terrain and the multi-day cycling require serious preparedness. The distance of the 100 kilometer will have to be completed day after day, which is not so easy, the organizer noted. The first rest stop of the uplands of Balaton was at Menchei. It was great. It had difficult parts, but it was worth it. The scenery was beautiful, the participants said. After a short refreshment, they continue to head to Balatonfüred and Tihany. On the second day, they will cycle to Bükfürdő, through Zalakaros and then back to Tapolca. The route is secured by accompanying motorcyclists and ambulance. The aim of the Tour de Hungest is, apart from cycling, to promote safe domestic tourism.
Tourists can admire the votive church and cathedral of Our Lady of Hungary in Szeged all year round. Over the years, the main church of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Szeged has become one of the main symbols of the city, situated on the banks of the river Tisza. The leaders of the city made a commitment to build the church in 1880 after a devastating flood had destroyed most of Szeged. The construction lasted from 1913 to 1930. The cathedral was designed by Frigyes Sulek in neo-Romanesque style. The square in front of the church is called Dome Square, where visitors can admire the Episcopal Palace and the surrounding university buildings as well. The József Attila Memorial House in Balatonszárszó awaits visitors in summer as well. The exhibition is popular with guests visiting Lake Balaton as it presents the life and work of the Hungarian poet in an interactive way. Attila József visited Balatonszárszó for the first time in the summer of 1936. He died on the 3rd of December in 1937 when he was hit by a train while walking across railway tracks. The exhibition recalls the last period of the poet's life, commemorating his whole over. That's all for now. We'll be back tomorrow night at around the same time, and you can catch Hungary Reports online as well. Please stay tuned and watch our German, Russian, and Chinese language news. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night.